A lot of times I find myself thinking about things, being deep in thought, and wanting to speak it out loud like I'm doing now. And it's good for me to have these recordings so that I can go back over them, listen to them, think more deeply on it, and remember the things that I said, like an internal journal, so that I don't get lost and confused in the sea of the mind. There's a lot of things that I think about that just I forget, and it's hard to get back into that mental space. Sometimes I'll be really deep in thought and contemplation, and I want to record it. I want to talk about it. And the words themselves don't even adequately express the things and the images and the realizations that are happening within me. The words actually kind of dumb them down, like a watered down thing. Because when I turn them into the words and the expression and put them in these little boxes, first of all, I have a limited vocabulary. And even if I know the words, it's hard to come up with them on the spot. And also, the words themselves are very limiting. So when you try to fit that all into the language itself, it's hard. It's hard to express what you're actually thinking. And I find myself hindering myself from doing this because the trauma of betrayal, basically, the trauma of people not liking you, the trauma of, oh, I'm going to sound stupid, the trauma of, I should just not say anything because I don't know anything and what I say doesn't matter. Okay? Now, all of this is happening within your own mind and your own headspace, your own thoughts. The problem with this, I'm talking about me. The problem with this is I'm the one who's limiting myself and hindering and stopping me because I'm the one who is believing these things. Now, are these things actually coming from me? No, it's not actually coming from me. It's coming from the trauma. It's coming from lived experience. It's coming from the reactions of other people that I've internalized. It's coming from the way that I was raised. It's coming from the world itself. All of these things never originated from me. I've only grasped these things from the outside and turned them into beliefs. And the moment that I stop and say, wait, I'm holding on to a belief that doesn't originate from me. And as you see, it happens all the time. It happened before I started recording this video. Me saying, I really want to record a video for myself. And all of the mind virus programs, false beliefs about who I am and want to control me. Who cares if I sound stupid? Who cares if what I'm saying isn't exactly the truth? Because what matters is me exploring it. What matters is me being able to freely do it without my own mind, so to say, hindering me and stopping me, telling me I'm stupid and dumb and I'm not intelligent enough to comprehend these things. When in actuality, I am intelligent enough to comprehend these things. What is the truth of the matter is, I've been purposefully limited and dumbed down and forced in every area to not be able to progress without constant pushing back from this force that wants me to feel so insignificant, so unintelligent, so stupid. And this force is not originating from me. The moment I can turn that program around, realize it, stop it, that wait, I'm not just going to believe this. I'm not just going to be taken over by the autopilot mind and beliefs of the thoughts entering my head and the feelings, because the feelings also take you over, and the feelings will also gaslight you into thinking it's you. Perhaps the feelings are stemming from the thoughts themselves that are also enclosing your spirit into this cage that you now believe is you. But I've just proved to myself that it's not me by doing this exact video. And if people don't like it, if people think it's dumb or unintelligent or whatever they may think, guess what? I am not around you right now. I am by myself, speaking to myself. Why would the thought of other people rejecting me even come into my mind if it wasn't the virus who is imitating and mimicking me to stop me? Because the thing is, I don't have to upload this video. I don't have to do anything. I just wanted to talk about things. I just wanted to express myself in this moment. And guess what? The limiting ideas and beliefs that were fed to me through this world and through the experiences of this world tried to control and harness my awareness and try to direct it somewhere else, into disempowerment, into non-expression, into the dirt, basically. Why do you think you should even have a say about anything? Because whatever you're going to say is going to be unintelligent and stupid. People aren't going to like it. Oh, guess what? I like it because I'm the one who's thinking it and I'm the one who wants to express it. So I'm liberating myself from these limiting beliefs and these limiting chains that if the non-tangible part of you is enchained, then everything that you do is going to emanate from within those chains and those cages of the mental blocks, of the mental oppression, of the oppression of the feeling that engulfs you in it. And this, for me, is the most freeing and healthiest thing that I've ever done in my life, is to be vulnerable with myself and go into it, explore it, see that I can be compassionate to myself and trust myself enough to be able to sit with myself vulnerably. And whatever it is I want to say, however it may come about, it's okay. Because I'm searching from within for that truth of who I actually am. And if I'm allowing imaginary people to control that thought process, that mental exercise, that freedom of creation and expansion within myself, then I'm purposefully allowing this thing to limit me, silence me, muzzle me, and to keep me on the chain so that I can't go any further. It's getting kind of hot in here, so I'm going to turn the AC on. So, with all that said, I haven't even begun to talk about what it is I wanted to talk about. That's just the intro. That's just the intro of what was going on within me. So, now let's talk about what I wanted to talk about. If you're still here, let's talk about it. Okay. So if we got tricked into coming here, this is what I'm thinking. Okay, if we got tricked into coming here, what if all of the past civilizations that were obviously more technologically advanced and superior in consciousness, intellect, and everything else, what if that was the trick into getting us into this realm. And once in this realm, now we're stuck with the depreciating cycles of de-evolution of our spirit. Okay? So, the father of lies is talked about by Jesus. I'm not saying Christianity is the truth. I'm not saying Jesus is a real person. I'm not saying that he's a bad person or a good person. I'm just going with the things I'm thinking about because I'm familiar with the scriptures of the Bible because I used to be a Christian. And so this force is the father of lies. So we're just going to go off of that. Forget the religious indoctrination. Let's just go with what was being said. The father of lies, the originator of lies. So in our original state, we weren't aware of any deception or lies. And when the father of lies came about and offered us, hey, why don't you come check out this realm? Look how beautiful and wonderful it is. You can have all you're going to be doing is incarnating into a body. But this realm isn't purely physical, okay? It's not purely physical because you can still have all of the powers of the psychic powers, basically, of telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, flying, all of these things that you do naturally in your dreams and don't question it because it seems like it's your natural abilities are all possible in this realm. And that's how you got it used to run off of free energy, all the megalithic structures of the world, and all the beautifully ornate buildings, all around ley lines, energy lines of this realm, and things laid out like a computer motherboard. All of these things tell you that this is some kind of technological simulated realm that we used to have some sort of power over, and we could use it possibly to do things that are impossible, inconceivable, and would make you, what other people would say, is complete fantasy loony land. But when you watch a movie, when these things are present, your suspension of disbelief is not there because you're believing, okay, in this realm, in this story, these things are possible and they make sense. Okay, so in this world, all of these things were possible. That's why things like manifestation, things like all of these things that people talk about that are possible may have been possible back when we first entered this realm. And what happened? Because of this evil force's mind, the evil imagination, it knew what it was doing. To us, it seemed like maybe a fun game, a fun exercise to do, a fun place to come. But to this evil imagination, I'm going to turn the AC on. To this evil imagination, it knew what it had in store for us. Our bodies are biological robots to receive our consciousness. And these biological robots, depending on the programming, show us the perception of the world that we think we live in. Now, the original bodies were far more advanced, far more capable than our limited human band of perception now. That's why you have all these fantastical stories in the ancient world of gods and demigods and technological advancements, and it just all kind of fits together. But the whole time, this was the trap to get you in here. because we did not know what deception was. We were in a realm where there were no lies. I'm just speaking. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is what happened. This is how I think. I'm philosophizing these things. I keep everything on the table. I let it all lie, and I see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So, over time, this force who works in the shadows have been constantly de-evolving and degrading this experience by design to entrap us in it. Now, before perhaps maybe you could come and leave as you please, or once you die, you can leave. But perhaps they knew full well where they were and why they were here. But over time, over the many resets that have happened upon this place, and the constant de-evolution and degradation of this place and the human vessel itself, we have been purposely and well thought outly designed by this force to forget who we were, where we came from, and how we even got in this place. Now, at first, we had a longer lifespan, and we could achieve things. We could figure things out. Perhaps we started to find out the trick that was played on us, and many of us wanted out. A lot of us got out, or maybe it was too late. And I don't know. I'm just thinking. So, with all the resets that happened over time, perhaps they were us becoming more and more illusioned and entrenched in the trap of believing that this is where we originated from, that this God who created this place is actually our creator, which is not. And we were deceived into worshiping this thing. Through all of the religions of the world and the secret societies and groups of people who I'm not going to name names, but if you know, you know who I'm talking about, all work in secret for this being to help degrade and to help enslave our consciousness over the years. That's why you see nowadays them continually working at degrading us in our lifetimes alone. It's because this constant degradation further entraps you in the illusion and the prison and cuts you off from your natural faculties of the expanded consciousness that you knew before. And to this thing, it's a type of game. It's a type of psychopathic game because it benefits it. It's for its entertainment, it's for its purposes, and it's for its enjoyment. Just because you aren't aware of the rules, just because you're not having fun, just because you can't stop playing when you don't want to, doesn't make it not a game. It may not be a game for you, but for the being or beings that implemented the game, it sure is a hell of an entertainment for them. It sure is a hell of an enjoyment from them to mess with us, to deceive us, to constantly gaslight us, to make us feel that this is where we're from and this is all there is, and all that you see is what you get. And the constant lies and deception and trauma are part of its game, part of its enjoyment, and part of its food, so to say. Now, I didn't explain any of that as well thought out, with the right words, with the right imagery, with the right points that I was originally thinking, because it's hard for me to do that. But I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable and not care. It's okay. This is not a theory. This is not facts. This is not a new worldview. These are just things that I'm thinking about to help broaden and come to some sort of truth or more awareness of the situation I'm in. I'm not going to create some new religion or new theory to get you to believe in. No, I'm exploring and opening myself up to possibilities. And this possibility, we consented to come here because the realm was different. It was magical. It was wonderful. It was great. Over time, we have been degraded and de-evolved to where we are now, into the state of existence where we are now. In a simulated realm, you can change things. You can change the underlying code and the root of it. So if this place wasn't run on the Life Eating Life script, and it was much more peaceful and harmonious and balanced and lovely and all this love sort of thing, okay, you get them in here. Once they're in, you start working on degrading them and below their level of awareness, okay? So that you have the subconscious mind, which has been fired off from your conscious mind, okay? So maybe over time, they kept separating the two so that more of your awareness is now split. And now the subconscious mind is the place where all the programs, emotions, thoughts, beliefs, all of these things are running. And you can't get in there and fix those things without tremendous work, because you weren't even given the right tools or information on how to do any of this. Now, in your previous state, there is no subconscious mind. There is no programming. There is no things running below your level of awareness. There's no deception. It is what it is, and you can't even explain it in words. Now, this would account for all the poisoning, the indoctrination, the re-education camps, the resets, the constant gaslighting, the amnesia. All of these things have been implemented insidiously over time to make you forget who you are, where you came from, and get you to believe in this shit show. And as we speak, they are possibly introducing a new realm for you to go to, because they know that we are waking up, and also it's been orchestrated for a lot of other people to wake up, because they're being exposed to all of these conspiracies from sources that are connected to this force, these secret societies, these people. They want you to wake up to a certain extent. They want you to be depressed and miserable. They want you to know that your government is fucking you in the ass. Because if you look around, it's everywhere. Everyone's miserable. Everyone's complaining about not having enough money. The economy sucks. They're getting you to hate each other. They're getting you to hate the opposing side of every political thing, all by design. They're showing you the corruption, which has always been there, but they're revealing certain things to you, to give you, to make you think that you're making an informed choice when you take another artificial constructed realm that is, oh, it's so magical and it's paradise. Look at this. I can go into this realm and forget all of this bullshit. I can be happy. But guess what? That's the very thing that got you into this realm. They're doing the same playbook. They're presenting you a false choice of, hey, this world sucks, but we totally didn't design it that way, and we totally aren't making it suck. It's just the way it is here. But now we're offering you a more enjoyable experience where you'll be more free, just like we promised you here when you first came here. But in actuality, the more and the deeper and deeper you go into these simulated realms, the more lost and hard it is to get out of it. Now, how many simulated realms have we dug ourselves into? I don't know. Is this the first simulated realm that we got tricked into coming to? I can't tell you that. I'm just saying, maybe there's more. But all I know is, in this realm, I'm awake to this shit right now. I'm awake to how this works. I'm awake to this world is purposely designed to be evil, to gaslight you, to traumatize you, and to get you to act against your conscious free will. And this is another thing that they're going to be pushing. I want nothing to do with this place. I want nothing to do with their simulated realms that they may create to make you think that it's going to be a wonderful, harmonious, peaceful place. I've already experienced from here that this thing is the father of lies. It's the originator of lies. It's the murderer from the beginning, because from the beginning, it brought death into the equation. That's why we see what we see in this realm. Anything they offer you that looks too good to be true, it most likely is. Because in this line of thinking, I'm just philosophizing, it's hard to say. That's the exact same thing that got you in this place. It was a utopia. It was a magical utopia where you could go and have fun and you could experience something different. But you weren't aware of lies. You weren't aware of deception, because those things never existed for you. But now, you could say that you have learned something here. You've learned that there are liars, deceivers, manipulators, gaslighters, evil, psychopathic things that want to enslave your consciousness, that want to make you miserable. Oh, wow. It's like you being an innocent child. You're not necessarily dumb or unintelligent or not powerful. You just didn't have the concept of what deception and lies and manipulation were, because it never existed where you came from. It didn't need to exist. But since the father of lies, the originator, brought that into the equation, now you know. And if all of this is just speculation, that's fine. But all I'm saying is, there's some truth in what I'm saying. Somewhere. Maybe at least 1%, right? Somewhere. It's just, for me, it's just fun to think about these things. because it expands my consciousness and awareness to think outside the box and to get to better understanding of things. And hopefully it helps you too. You don't have to think that you're a guru or a teacher or all of these things to explore things on your own. I'm not trying to teach anything. I'm not trying to be a teacher. I'm not trying to be a guru. I'm just my own leader. I'm just my own authority. And that's what I'm doing right now. So, I mean, there's more I could say about this. Like I said, the programs of the traumatized minds are always saying, "Oh, look, you're speaking too long. No one's going to listen to this." I don't care if anyone listens to this. This is for me. Taking time for myself, allowing myself the respect and dignity to allow myself to think and talk and to ponder and philosophize. Why is that so hard for me to say? Philosophize. What if that's not even a word? What if I just made that word up and I think it's a word? Well, it's a word now. Allow myself to go through these things without any shame, without any guilt, without any nag. Why don't you just shut up? No. I'm allowing myself the freedom to think and to ponder these things. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's just keep going, because more things I'm remembering now. So you're given an artificial world, artificial construct, and the body and the brain itself are part of that artificial world, and everything you're seeing is being interpreted by the bio robot, and over time it's been degraded and de-evolved, tuned down, a downgrade. So you've been purposely designed over the generations to see less and less, to understand less and less, to have your powers of consciousness more limited and restrained over time. So now, at this point of human history, we are the most dumbed down we could have ever been. The most socially engineered, the most traumatized, the most just absolutely ravaged that we've ever been. And I'm not going with the fake history, because I've seen too much, and I've seen too much of the lies and deceptions of history, but the whole picture, everything in general. To ever go off of the narrative of his story ever again. I know that we were more advanced technologically. Easy, simple to see. Now, when was the last reset? Some say it was recent. Some say it was a long time ago. But I know the resets exist. Okay, so why do you need resets? Because possibly the consciousness of certain individuals are reaching a climax, and they have to reset it to wipe the board, to reset the civilizations into the new programming. So they have to work all over again if they want out. And perhaps each reset is a different, is a deeper, what's the word? Each reset could be a reset into a deeper simulation that simulated the previous reset. So with the previous reset, you're in this world, and then the reset happens, and you're into a different simulation now. But it carries over the information of the previous simulation. So each reset, you get deeper and deeper and deeper into other simulations, possibly. And with this coming reset, you're going to think that you're in the same world that you used to be in, but you're actually in a different AI artificial realm. That just carries over the code and memories of the last simulation. Hey, I'm just thinking. Not saying any of this is true. This is just how I ponder things, get things out, get it on the table. Allows me to see it and to fully comprehend it. And again, some of this may be true, all of it may be true, or none of it may be true. I'm just exploring and thinking and pondering, and hopefully it will help you do that as well.